Jared, couldn't you ride with me? Just as far as Lathrop.
No, I don't think that'd be a wise idea to be seen traveling together. I'll catch the next stage out to Stockton.
I guess we say goodbye.
Yes. Goodbye, Marcy.
I wish things hadn't happened this way. It's all over now, isn't it?
Yes, it's over. You go home. Go home to your husband and that son of yours.
Jared, you've been wonderful to me. I'll never forget you.
I'm sorry, Pa. I just can't seem to hit it.
Nothing to worry about, Davy. You'll get the hang of it. How's the shoulder holding up?
Kind of aches, but I'm gonna hit that target if it's the last thing I do.
Oh, that's the way, Davy. When we Howards want something bad enough, we don't let a little ache stop us, do we?
No.
Now, you gotta keep the rifle butt snug against the shoulder. Right? Now, remember what I told you. The target's gotta stay right on top of the sight. Take a deep breath, hold, and squeeze the trigger. All right, let me see you do it. You're getting there. Let me show you.
Ma!
Hi. Oh, how's my boy? Oh, how I've missed you. You must have grown 2 inches. Hello, darling.
Welcome home, Marcy. Why didn't you let us know you were coming back today? We'd have met you.
Oh, well, I wanted it to be a surprise.
Oh. How's Edith?
Oh, fine. She doesn't have pneumonia after all.
I'm glad to hear it. And the trip?
Well, it was long and tiresome, you know. Here, I got you something. I hope you like it. Well, I'm home now, and if I know you two, you haven't had lunch. Huh?
Is it lunchtime?
Is it lunchtime? It's 2 o'clock.
You're absolutely right, Marcy. We forgot all about eating, didn't we?
Shame on you, too. Oh, Adam, before I forget, this telegram was at the house for you.
Well, I have a surprise for everybody. We're going on a long trip. All of us this time.
A trip? Where to?
Stockton. I have some business there.
Oh, boy!
Stockton. Oh, Adam, if it's a business trip, you don't want Davy and me along.
No reason why a man can't travel with his family, Marcy.
No, of course not. But I just got back, and I've got so many things to do. I've got the Forbes coming to dinner, and on Thursday I have plans that...
Sure, those things can be postponed. I thought you'd be pleased. You haven't been to Stockton in years. We'll have a chance to see our dear friend, Jared Barkley, again. You'll like that, won't you?
Yes. Yes, I'd like that.
All right. Then it's settled. We leave tomorrow.
Davy, how are you? It's good to see you. Hey, wait a minute. Let me have a look at you. You know something? I think you've grown about 3 feet.
Well, Jared, it's good to see you again.
Good to see you, Adam.
Look at this man, Marcy. He hasn't changed a bit. 6 years. Handsome as ever.
You're looking pretty fit yourself. And Marcy, you are just what this old town needs. A fresh breeze. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too, Jared.
Old friends like you two shaking hands? I'd say a kiss was more in order.
Well, Adam, your letter didn't say. Business or pleasure?
A little of both.
Now, don't tell me you finally decided to expand into Stockton.
Oh, blame it on yourself. When we were together in San Francisco, you never stopped boosting this town. I'm finally doing something about it. I'm going to look around and investigate a few things.
And if I know you, you've already investigated.
You're on to me, Jared. I may have done just that. Well, if you'll excuse me, I'll round up the luggage. Davy, want to give me a hand? We'll take the luggage down here to the...
Jared, I've got to talk to you.
What's happened?
Not here. Tomorrow afternoon.
Mom! Hey, Mom!
I thought you were going to help your father.
Can I go fishing tomorrow?
Yes. I think that'd be a wonderful idea. You know, I know just the place. I used to go there when I was a little girl. River Grove.
Oh, boy!
Isn't this a lovely place, David? I've had some wonderful times here.
Pa should have come with us. Why didn't he?
Well, he was busy, you know. Some other time.
Where's that stream?
Oh, it's just up the way.
Hello there.
Look, Ma, it's Uncle Jared.
Oh, what a nice surprise.
Hey, young fella, come on up here. Atta boy.
David and I were having a little picnic. I'm sure there'll be enough for you.
Oh?
I'm going fishing.
You're going fishing? Well, now, Davy, that might be kind of tough to do. We're right in the middle of a drought, and that old stream is all dried up.
Isn't there any place I can catch me some fish?
No, I'm afraid there isn't. Hey, I got an idea. Didn't you used to collect rocks?
You can collect rocks anywhere.
Yeah, but can you collect gold nuggets just anywhere?
Gold?
Big as your fist. Washed down out of those hills into that dried up old stream, just waiting for some young fella like you to come along and scoop them up.
Really?
Well, I'm not going to guarantee anything, but I figure it's worth a try, don't you?
Where is it?
Right over there.
Mom, gonna strike me some gold.
Be careful, David. Thanks for coming.
I don't think this was a very good idea, Marcy.
I have a feeling Adam knows about our meetings.
Well, how could he know?
I don't know. I should have told him. I mean, he couldn't have come here just on business.
Well, you don't know anything for sure, though, do you, Marcy?
No, I just have a feeling that it's something to do with us.
Well, you have a feeling, but you don't know anything for sure. When we met, he seemed to be his same old self.
Oh, no, Jared. No, you've worked for him. You know him better than that. He's always his most charming when he's about to break someone. Oh, Jared, I'm scared. What are we going to do?
We don't do anything. We just wait. All we know for sure is that he's here on business.
This one won't last much longer.
There's the rest of the herd. That creek on the south range is bone dry.
Well, now, it was full up 2 days ago. It takes more than 2 days for a creek to dry up.
Unless Fred Brady dammed it up on his end.
Well, now, why would he do that?
I don't know. Let's go find out.
Good idea. What's this fence for?
What they're usually for. To keep our stock in, everybody else is out.
Any water in that creek up there?
Plenty of water.
Well, now, you better have a talk with your boss.
Wouldn't do you any good.
If he thinks he's gonna dam up a creek in the middle of a drought, well, we better straighten him out.
Now, you just better stay right where you are.
Look, we've been sharing that creek with Brady for years.
Well, now, that might be. But it ain't his place anymore, that's all. This place been sold.
To who?
Pa? Can you take me riding today?
I'm busy. You can see that, can't you?
Maybe later?
Not today.
Tomorrow?
We'll see, David. We better go now and let your father get back to his work. Did you get my gloves? Adam, whatever it is, please don't take it out on him. Thank you.
Uncle Jared!
Hello, Davy.
Can you take me riding today?
Riding? Sorry, young fella. I wish I could.
You'll have to settle for your mother's company, David. Hello, Jared.
Hello, Marcy. Adam.
Maybe we can have another picnic at River Grove.
Another picnic?
Yes. David and I were picnicking the other afternoon, and Jared rode by, so naturally.
You invited him to stay, naturally.
Well, we better go and let these men do their work. Nice to see you again, Jared.
Nice to see you, Marcy.
How are you, Jared?
That's fine, Adam.
Can I get you a drink?
Thank you. I stopped by to discuss with you the damming up of Brady Creek. Actually, Nick wanted to come, but he tends to be just a little bit impulsive.
Yes, I heard that about him. You should really watch that. Now, about the creek. When I acquire new property, I fence it in as properly as possible.
Fencing is one thing, Adam. Damming it up is another.
You need that water.
You bet we do. We have 500 head of prime beef that need watering. With the drought, we stand a chance of losing them. There's enough water in that stream, Adam, for a dozen herds.
I'm afraid I can't accommodate you, Jared.
You're refusing us water?
That's exactly what I'm doing.
I don't understand, Adam. I thought we were friends.
And I'm behaving like your worst enemy, and you would like to know why. Is that right, Jared?
That's right, I would.
Well, let's start with Carson City. 6 months ago. Does that answer your question? No? All right. Let's try Modesto, a week before last. Does that give you a clue? Now, please get out of here. I've got another appointment.
Whatever you're thinking, Adam, you're wrong.
Get out.
So he's a real old close friend of yours, huh? Well, let me tell you something. That kind of man doesn't have any close friends. How do you think he built that empire of his?
Oh, Nick, Adam is an empire builder, and I've heard he can be ruthless at times, but why? What would be his reason? Perhaps there's a reason we don't even know about. Is that possible?
I get the distinct feeling that all of you think this has something to do with me.
Well, he's your closest friend.
Am I being accused of something?
Accused of what, Jared?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
I think maybe I'll have a talk with this Mr. Howard.
You will not. I'll handle this. In the meantime, why can't you use the San Joaquin River?
It's too rough a drive on a herd getting weaker every hour. This heat, they'd never make it.
Well, there has to be an answer for this somewhere. I'll find it legally.
You better find it and fast, Jared. Those cattle need water, and legal or otherwise, we're going to get water to them.
Mr. Slade.
Hello, Miss Barkley.
How's that new baby of yours?
Oh, he's come along just fine. Me and the missus want to thank you for the present you sent over.
It's my pleasure.
Miss Barkley, I guess you'll find out sooner or later. I might as well be the one to tell you.
Tell me what?
Your son told me you just harvested your pear crop.
That's right. They'll be here and ready for shipping sometime tomorrow.
Well, I'm afraid we can't handle them.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry as can be, Miss Barkley, but I've got orders.
From whom?
It's all right, Slade. I'll handle it.
Adam, I don't understand what...
There's nothing to understand. My company has a right to refuse anyone's patronage.
Your company?
I've been a member of the board of directors for many years. I just decided to take a more active interest in company policy.
I see. Well, what's the reason?
I'm not obliged to give you any reason. Ship the pears with some other company.
But you're the only freight line in this area. And if you don't ship them, an entire year's crop will be ruined. But even more important than that, Adam, you're our friend. Why are you doing this? Why?
Now, you ask your son, Victoria. Ask Jared about my wife and about the seventh commandment.
I brought you some coffee. Oh, my goodness. Last time I saw so many books, you were studying for your law degree.
Well, I'm trying to find a legal basis to force Adam Howard to tear down that dam.
Stream is on his property.
Yes, I know it's on his property, but there's such a thing as custom, such a thing as morality. Say, that smells good. I mean, does any man have the right, any man, to literally slaughter another man's cattle?
That's what you say, but what does the law say?
Well, the law says a man's property is his kingdom, his house is his castle, but there's a precedent for common usage. I intend to get Judge Lawson to issue an injunction based on that precedent.
Jared, why is Adam doing this?
That's not as important as stopping him.
As long as this was just your business, I would never interfere, and you know it. But now it concerns all of us, the ranch, all of us. I spoke to Adam today, very briefly, but he said something odd. He said to ask you about his wife and the seventh commandment.
Mother, I have never had an affair with Marcy Howard.
Then what is it that makes Adam think so?
All right. He found out that I met with Marcy. Met with her several times.
These meetings. Why, Jared?
I can't tell you that. You'll just have to trust me.
All right, Jared. All right. I'll have Silas bring you some sandwiches. You must be hungry.
Pa,
Yeah.
I guess you're kind of busy.
Yes, I'm very busy. I said I'm very busy, David. Now, what is it you want?
I wanted to give you this. I made it. It's a present for you.
Well, thank you, David. I sure did need a new tobacco pouch.
I was gonna save it until Christmas. But I don't know. I just wanted to give you something now.
Well, it's very nice.
I guess I've been a lot of trouble to you on this trip. Getting in the way, and always asking to go riding. I bet that made you mad at me.
Mad at you? Why do you think that?
Well, not mad exactly. But I don't know. You just act different. That's all. Like you didn't want me around anymore. If I did something wrong, Pa, I didn't mean to. When I get back in school, I'll do all my lessons every night without having to be told. I promise.
Oh, I know you will, Davy. I know you will.
I wish we could go home so things would be the way they were before. You and Mother and me, together. You know, the way it was.
The way it was.
It will be the same when we get home, won't it, Pa? Well, I guess I'm bothering you again.
David, I hope you're not interrupting your father. I'm going shopping. I'd like it if you could come with me to help carry the packages. Do you need anything, Adam?
No. No, thank you. Nothing.
Come on, David.
They're dying. Don't you understand me, Jared? They're dying every day, every hour they're dying. You ride out there with me right now and I'll show you a dozen new carcasses.
Nick, I know they're dying. Now, I have already told you. I filed a brief for an injunction with...
The devil with your briefs. We're talking about water for cattle.
Now, Nick, you listen to me. These things take time.
He has to study the legal precedents. Now, you know Judge Lawson. He's a fussy old man, likes to chew an issue from all sides.
The cattle can't wait for a judge to chew issues.
I'm seeing him again first thing in the morning. I'm pushing him all I can.
Well, you better push him a little harder.
Judge Lawson. I was just coming to see you. Have you reached a decision on my brief yet?
Interesting, Jared. Extremely interesting. Yes. Under the common usage precedent, it would seem the stream comes under the heading of public right-of-way.
Well, then what you're saying is that Adam Howard had no right to dam up that stream.
Well, it would seem so, but there are certain gray areas.
What do you mean, gray areas? Judge, I dug up more than a dozen cases, surely enough to establish that...
You may be right, Jared. You certainly may, but I'll want to hear both sides in court.
In court? But that could take days, even weeks. Judge, you've got ample precedent to issue that injunction right now.
Well, possibly, but I'm from the old school, Jared. I believe a court should render decisions, not issue injunctions.
Judge, our cattle are dying right now, just as though they were being systematically slaughtered.
It's been a terrible drought, no question.
Then why can't you issue that injunction?
I've tried to explain to you, Jared.
And I think maybe I'm beginning to understand. Adam Howard bought that land and everything else he can get his hands on. Does that include you?
I'll take into account exactly how much you have at stake, Jared, and how overwrought you are.
We heading? See Howard.
Jared asked us to wait a couple of days. You said you would, Nick.
If you recollect, I said I'd think about it. And the more I think about waiting for Judge Lawson and now waiting for the court in Sacramento and then maybe waiting for the Supreme Court, I think it's best that you and Jared wait. I'll see to Howard. Come on, yeah.
Foley, I want you to check with the railroad about a spur for the new property. Olson, come on in. Smith, Well, another Barkley. Wouldn't it save time if you all came down here at once?
I'd like to ask you a few questions, Mr. Howard.
I don't have to answer it, Mr. Barkley.
Well, you're gonna hear them anyway.
You're quite wrong. I have some business to discuss with these men. Now, will you please excuse me?
Well, I have some business to discuss with you, Mr. Howard. It's about water.
I've said all I'm going to say about that water.
Why are you doing this to us?
You ask your brother, Jared. Now, get out of here, Barkley.
What's Jared got to do with it?
Well, you heard Mr. Howard. Now get going.
I don't want any trouble.
Throw him in a wagon and get him back to his ranch. Then get down to that fence. He'll try to get his cattle through.
Oh, no. What's wrong? What's going on here?
Take him out the back way. Nothing to worry about, Mrs. Howard. Just a troublemaker. Everything's all right.
Mother, that man, is he dead? Look, Ma!
got to talk to you. Now.
All right.
You should have seen it.
David, you promised Aunt Edith you'd write her a letter. Now, I want you to go into your room and do that right now.
I just wanted to tell Pa about the man.
I'll tell him. You write that letter now. When you're through, I'll look it over for mistakes.
Do I have to now?
Yes, David. Go write that letter.
All right.
Adam, that was Nick Barkley.
That's right.
You're trying to ruin a whole family. Tear down everything they've built because of Jared.
Because of Jared. Exactly.
Adam, you're wrong about Jared.
No more lies, Marcy. I got reports from a private detective just before we came down here. Reports that give dates, places, hotel registers that you both signed. Are they all lies, Marcy?
No. We met. I could never tell you why we met before now.
Oh. All right, Marcy. Tell me.
I'm telling Aunt Edith about the drought, but I don't think I'm spelling it right.
D-R-O-U-G-H-T.
D-O-U-G-H. It still looks funny, but I guess I'll never be a champion speller. Look at it, Pa. Is it right?
Yes. Yes, Davy, it's right.
Look at my handwriting. That's getting better, too, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Much better, Davy. Much better. Now go ahead and finish that letter.
I guess there won't be any horseback riding today.
No, I don't think so, Davy. Now go ahead and finish the letter. All right, Marcy. The truth. Go on. I'm listening.
I can't. I just can't.
When did all this start? I mean, were you in love with Jared when you married me? And then just went on pretending that everything was
Adam,
fine?
I do love you. You've made me happier than I ever thought I could be.
Oh, I don't believe you, Marcy. Not after those reports. You know how much I loved you, Marcy? Those 15 years with Cora were good years. But there was always something missing. A child. A son. When she died, I thought I'd never marry again. Then I met you. Beautiful Marcy. Young enough to be my daughter. And I fell in love. And wonder of wonders. A child. A boy. My son, Davy. I was a lucky man, wasn't I, Marcy? At my age, begetting a son. Someone to inherit my name. To take over everything I worked for. And I loved my son. And I loved you, Marcy, for giving him to me. But what did you really give me, Marcy? Some other man's child? Yes. Another man's child. Jared Barkley's.
No! All right, Adam, you wanted the truth. Now you're going to hear it. The whole truth. You were right. I did deceive you. At first because I was a stupid, thoughtless girl. But later on because I loved you.
All those meetings with Jared and you say you love me?
Jared's only part in this was to try and help me save my marriage, our marriage. was in love with a man. A man who had no goodness, no kindness in him. And most of all, no love for me. When you went to London, I saw him again. But only long enough to say goodbye. To tell him that I was in love with my husband, Adam Howard. But it was a little too late for goodbyes. Because I was already carrying his child. Years ago, he came to the house. He wanted to borrow some money. He saw David. He noticed the resemblance, and he knew. Then he wanted to borrow more than just a few dollars. I was so scared, I didn't know what to do. I said I'd get it for him. I wrote to Jared. I said, please meet me in Carson City. I need help.
And he just came running to help you, is that it?
He said, forget about paying the blackmail. And that I should come to you right away with the truth, but I couldn't. I just couldn't. There didn't seem to be any way out. Until Jared checked into his background. Found out that he was a wanted man. And he told him to leave the country. My last meeting with Jared was in Modesto. And he told me I was finally free of him. He'd gone to Mexico. That's the truth.
There was no other man. It was Jared.
No, Adam. No, Jared just tried to help me, help us.
Now, I want you and your son out of here by the time I return. Do you hear me?
Adam, where are you going?
That's no concern of yours now.
Adam! Is shooting Jared gonna make you feel better?
Ma?
David, I want you to pack your things. We're leaving.
We're going home?
No. But I thought instead of you having to ride Aunt Edith, we could go for a visit.
What about Pa?
Well, he won't be able to come with us. He has to do something.
You said he was going to shoot somebody. Uncle Jared.
No, he's not going to shoot anyone. You get your things together.
If Pa's going to stay, I want to stay too, Ma.
Davy. Look, sometimes things happen between a man and a woman. It's nothing to do with you, so don't blame yourself. But, your father doesn't want us to be with him anymore.
But why?
Because it's so hard to explain.
Tell me.
I will when I come back, okay? Give me a big hug. I have to go and do something very important. You promise me you'll be all right, huh?
I'll be all right.
That's my boy. Okay. I'll be back as soon as I can.
All right, let's get him out of here. Swing, come on. We've got work to do. Get out. Put that horse right there. All right, let's go. Okay.
Nick? Nick, are you hurt?
How'd I get here?
Somebody just delivered you in a wagon.
Adam Howard.
Looks like that talk didn't work out, huh?
We didn't talk. Anyway, it's all right with me. I'm through talking anyway. I get them cattle to water.
You think you're gonna get them through that fence?
That's what I think.
Just like that?
Just like that. Now, the cattle and the men are all ready to go. You going with us or not?
Nick, that's big trouble.
Then stay here.
I'll get saddled.
Come on.
What happened to you?
Your friend Howard's what happened to me.
I told you to stay away from him.
I know what you told me, but I've got a whole herd of thirsting cattle out there. And for your information, I'm taking them out into Brady's Creek.
Then I trust you've made arrangements at the local funeral parlor.
No more talk. We tried it your way, Jared. We tried it. It did not work.
Now, you listen to me, Nick. What you're planning to do is wrong, dead wrong. And if you think I'm going to let that hard head of yours get you killed, you got another thing coming.
Wait a minute, Jared. Will you wait a minute? I'm, sorry, big brother.
I'll get Silas to look after him. I'll meet you up on the North Ridge.
All right.
Here you are, Mr. Jared. Just lay still for a while.
Nick and Heath are gone, huh?
To that fence. There's going to be trouble. Kill him.
Don't you worry, Silas. There won't be if I can help it.
Oh, thank God you're all right.
What is it, Marcy?
Jared, I told him. I told him everything. And he didn't believe one word of it, Jared, not one word. And he took his rifle when he left.
He didn't believe you, huh? Well, Marcy, looks like we've passed the time for truth and understanding.
Well, now it's a time for guns, is that it?
You show me a way to stop it.
Jared, wait a minute. Jared!
Like the old man said, here they come. Hold it, mister. Nobody gets through. Like I said, somebody's gonna get killed.
Nick, all right.
You're here to stop us, Jared. You're on the wrong side of the fence.
I'm not here to stop you, Nick. I'm going with you.
Adam, we're bringing these cattle through.
Try it.
And they're dead men! Get out of here, son!
No, sir.
Listen to me, boy!
You can yell at me all you like. I heard you yelling at Mother, so I guess maybe I can stand you yelling at me. I don't know what I done, but...
David! This isn't the time!
I guess that don't surprise me none either. 'Cause you ain't had time for me since we got here. Since everything went wrong.
Please, Davy! For the love of God!
What's God got to do with it? You with a gun ready to shoot Uncle Jared? What's God got to do with that? Tell me, Pa.
Davy, there are things you don't understand.
That's what Mother said. Things I can't understand. Well, maybe I can't. But I sure as heck can't understand you not wanting to be my father anymore.
Oh, it has nothing to do with you, Davy. Your mother. It happened a long time ago.
I don't know what happened a long time ago, and I don't care. All I know is that I'm your son and you're my father. Ain't that so?
Yes, that's so, Davy. But there's more to it.
There's no more to it. You're my father, you just can't up and stop being it. You just can't do that. You just can't.
Olsen! Foley! The rest of you! Tear this fence down! Fast! Is that clear? You bring this buckboard out here all by yourself?
I'll be darned.
Well, you got it out here. You can get it back.
Jared, what a lovely sound.
The most beautiful music I've ever heard.
Jared!
So ends the beautiful music.
Oh, if this rain keeps up, I'm going to trade my horse in for a boat. Ah.
Ain't no pleasing him. That's the first good drink our cattle have had in months.
Yeah, if they don't drown first. Here.
Thank you.
Oh, Jared, I picked up a letter for you.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'll be. It's from little Davy Howard. Let's see what he has to say. Dear Uncle Jared, Mother and Father and I are all fine. I hope you are, too. There's going to be a big party here soon. It is their anniversary. Father is going to write you and invite you and your family to come.
Oh,
I sure hope you'll be there. Your friend, David Howard.
I'd love to go.
Rest in. Sleep in.
Wake up now, Victoria. How's your headache? Any better? Headache? But it's gone. Janet, you hypnotized me. Where did you learn to do a thing like that?
In the Far East, from an old man who worked in my father's mission. As a matter of fact, he was Key's uncle. Oh, incidentally, speaking of the Far East, I must show you some things we just imported from Hong Kong.
Oh, I'd love to see them.
Will you excuse us? I'm sure you gentlemen would enjoy nothing better than a few cigars and man talk.
Ah, the lady's a fortune teller, too.
I have been looking for a chance to talk a little business with you, Jared.
And I've been waiting for you to offer me one of those expensive cigars of yours. Ah, here we are. You know, it smells almost too good to smoke. Almost, but not quite. Now, what was that business deal you wanted to discuss?
I think you'll find it interesting and profitable. You may or may not know that I've been dabbling in the rice market.
Oh? No, I didn't know.
I hear tell that you're expecting 2 shiploads of rice from Hong Kong. I'd like to buy them. It's the Tong.
Come in. Well. Hello, Mike. How are you?
Fine.
Come on in. Sit down.
Thank you.
Can I offer you something to drink?
Oh, nothing, thank you.
All right, then I've got a better idea. How about lunch? I'm right in the middle of making out a will, and you know how dull that can be, don't you, Counselor?
Gerald, I came on business.
All right, right after lunch.
No. I think what we have to say to each other better be said here, in your office.
All right, Mike, sit down.
Thank you.
Fire away.
Jared, I know you had dinner with Warren Masters last night. I also know the Tong showed up.
That's true.
I don't have to tell you the Tong and the Chinese League are miles apart. We don't believe in violence or terror.
I think I know that, Mike.
The hatchet display. That was a warning from the Tong, Jared, of things to come if Warren Masters succeeds in cornering the rice market. He did offer to buy your 2 shiploads of rice.
Yes, he did. But I don't see that proves he's trying to corner the rice market.
Lawyer to lawyer and friend to friend, we're not going to get legal, are we, Jared? Masters has bought up every grain of rice he could find. If he gets your 2 boatloads, he'll have it all. He can force the price up and up and up.
I find that kind of hard to believe.
Nevertheless, that's exactly what he's trying to do. And if he does, the Tong will step in. It would be all they need to incite my people. Ever been in the middle of a Tong riot?
No, I can't say that I have. And I never will be if I can possibly help it.
You can help it. This is a standard contract. pledging you'll sell your rice to the Chinese League market price on arrival, if you sign it.
I think you ought to understand, Mike, that my mother retains control of our shipping interests. She'd have to sign it.
Your mother? I see.
No, I don't think you do see. If what you say about Warren Masters is true, I can guarantee you right here and now that we won't sell him so much as 1 grain of rice.
Your word's good enough for me, Jared. But my people will want to see your mother's name on this contract, and soon. So far, we've held the Tong in check. So far, we've convinced our people that we can improve our lot peaceably. But if Masters wins control of the rice market, the Tong and violence also wins control.
All right, now, what do you think?
Beautiful, Heath. He's a beautiful animal. I'll take him.
Well, he's yours. Shall I wrap him up? You want to ride him home?
I want you to wrap him in pink with a big bow. It's for Janet.
I'll see the boys brush him down real good.
Hey, Jared, the other night, before we were so rudely interrupted by the Tong, I was going to ask you whether...
Whether or not we'd sell you our 2 shiploads of rice.
Yeah. I can promise you a good, I think even a handsome profit.
Warren, is it true that you've bought up every grain of rice on the West Coast?
That's true, Jared.
So with ours, you'd have it all. So to become the emperor of rice.
Yeah, sort of.
Well, I think it's only fair to tell you that I've already pledged our rice to Mike Chang.
I don't understand. You mean you'd rather do business with hatchet men like the Tong?
Warren, you know I'm not doing business with the Tong. I said I was dealing with Mike Chang and the Chinese League. The only thing they're trying to do is get a fair shake for their people.
Look, Jared.
Against almost impossible odds, I might add.
I'm not anti-Chinese, and you know that.
No, you're not anti-Chinese. It's just that business is business.
Have you talked this over with Victoria?
He has. I brought some lemonade to cool both of you off. Warren, I can't be a party to your cornering the rice market.
Why, I'm not asking you to be a party to anything. Victoria, simply allow me the way you'd allow any legitimate dealer to bid for your rice.
No.
Victoria, every cent I have in the world, my house, my land, everything I own is tied up in this deal.
That was a mistake.
All right. All right. So you won't or you can't sell me your rice. I don't understand your position, morally or otherwise, but all right, I accept it. Sell your rice to the Chinese League, but will you hold up on the deal for just a few days? Will you do that for me, please?
Just long enough for you to make your killing?
I'm sorry, Warren.
All right. Just remember, anything that happens now, you forced me.
Is that a threat, Warren?
No. I'm sorry. I know what came over me. Forgive me, Victoria?
Of course.
I'd better go. Jared, about the horse, tell Heath to hold up on it for a few days. Why are you staring at me? Look as though you thought this was my fault. Did my best.
Yes, of course.
What do you expect me to do, hold a gun to their heads? Sorry. Didn't mean to shout. We could have sold our rice 3 days ago and made a fair profit. Now, when those Barclay ships dock and the rice goes on the open market, I warned you, Janet, if this thing backfired, it could cost you the clothes off your back.
Naked into the world I came, and naked I'll leave if need be. When I met you, I had nothing.
was just a missionary's daughter in a small Chinese village.
I remember. One of the first things I noticed about you was your wonderful smile.
Oh, yes? Maybe it was my early training. If your mission in life is to convert, you'd better act happy. Who wants to convert to misery? But that was another time, another place. You opened my eyes to the world. And when I saw it, I wanted it.
We've had enough now, though, haven't we?
But you said that if we could pull this off, we'd be rich. Richer than the Barclays. I'd be richer than Victoria.
That was before I spoke to the Barclays, and they turned us down.
So now we just roll over and play dead, is that it? If Victoria were one of my oldest friends, I'd have found a way to make her cooperate.
You don't know her. Matter of fact, I should have known better than to even ask.
Because of her innate decency, her morality, her breeding. She'd never stoop to such a scheme.
Yeah. That's the way you want to put it?
I'm going for a ride in the buggy.
Oh, come on.
No, you stay here. I want to think a few things through.
Kay. You mind sitting in here and talking to me for a few minutes? You pad around here, silent and inscrutable, hearing everything, I'm sure. Saying nothing. She can be pretty hard at times, can't she?
I'm very sorry.
Oh, take off the mask, Key. You know who I'm talking about. You know her better than I'll ever know her. Your mistress.
She has been very good to me. And her father, he was a prince amongst men, a god.
What was she like as a little girl?
She was very beautiful, as she is now.
I know that. I mean, underneath.
She's a very good person, my mistress. She has been a good friend.
If for some reason it would pay her to be an enemy, she could be quite a hunk of enemy, couldn't she?
I'm sorry. I do not understand.
Thanks, Key. Been very illuminating. No. Oh, please. No. Oh, no. Please. Oh, please.
Warren. Warren. Warren, darling. You were having a nightmare.
Oh. I dreamed you'd left me.
Now, why would I want to do a thing like that?
So much less than what you expected. Less than what I promised you. Janet, even if we do lose everything, I can still start over again. I'm still young.
If we had to, I would, and gladly. Why start over again when we're close? So close. Warren, have I been a good wife to you?
My darling, I can only tell you. When Edith died, I almost died too. And then meeting you, loving you, it's like being born again into a world I never even dreamed about.
It can be better when we have the Barclay rice.
I told you, there's no way.
Warren, there is a way. Trust me, darling, I'm your wife. Your future is my future. It took boldness to try to corner the rice market. I loved you for that. That's the only way to get anything in this world is to be bold. The lion shall inherit the earth, not the meek. Warren, we can't stop now. We have to take the next step.
There is no next step. We gambled and we lost.
Trust me, darling. Trust me.
Understand we got a letter from Audrey today.
Mm-hmm.
Would you mind telling us how she's doing?
Fine, just fine.
Lots of beaux dancing up a storm?
Mm-hmm.
Probably come home engaged to some slick San Franciscan.
Probably.
How's her broken leg coming along?
Fine, just... I'm sorry.
You've been miles away.
Well, a few. Actually, I was thinking about Warren. That was frightening.
Well, when you try and corner the rice markets, you're playing for big stakes.
Gamble big, you gotta be prepared to lose big.
Sorry to come busting in, but we got a fire.
Fire? Where?
South section.
How many men you got up there?
About a dozen.
Better pull some men in off that night herd. Come on.
Bob, how did it start?
There was no accident, Mrs. Barkley. We found a drum of kerosene and a tongue hatchet. Excuse me.
Who is it?
I still say it doesn't make any sense. Why would the Tong start the fire when I already told them that I'd sell Mike Chang the rice?
2 days worth of smoke. You two argue it out. I'm gonna take a bath.
Well, maybe they didn't believe you. Maybe they don't trust Mike Chang. Anyway, who says anything they do has to make sense? Jared, they ruined $1,000 worth of crops, and they're gonna pay for it.
If we can prove they did it.
Prove it. Wouldn't you call a drum of kerosene and a tong hatchet proof?
Left a little conveniently, Nick. Too conveniently.
Yeah, Nick.
You wait here, Jared. I'll see if it's all right. Come on.
Come in.
Can you, Mr. Jared Barkley?
My pleasure, Mr. Barkley. Yes, Mr. Barkley. This bag of decaying flesh is the leader of the terrifying Tong. I do not look very dangerous, do I? Perhaps Mr. Barkley would like a pot of tea.
Mr. Barkley would like only one thing. To know where you're holding my mother.
Your mother?
She disappeared last night while we were fighting the fire you started.
We started no fire on your property, Mr. Barkley. You are our friend. Or so our mutual friend, Mr. Chang, tells us.
I consider myself a friend of the Chinese people. But believe me, I'm no friend of the Tong.
The terrorist Tong. The bloodthirsty Tong. I concede it, Mr. Barkley. At times we are forced to violence. Forced by those whites who will not allow for change. Who will not allow our people to better themselves peacefully. There are people who cannot move but by force. We will move them. But not you, Mr. Barkley. To our friends, we offer our friendship. And if needed, our help. I'm sorry to hear about your mother, Mr. Barkley. But she is not a guest in the house of Chen Yu.
Let go!
Nick, you were supposed to stay away from her.
I know what I was
You
supposed
just
to
had
do.
Come busting in. Nick, I don't think she's here.
You don't
Now, just
think
trust
she's...
me. My apologies. Come on, let's get out of here. Hello, Janet.
I came out just as soon as I'd heard what happened. Oh, Jared, it's awful, just awful. What time did it happen? We left here last night before midnight.
You and Warren were here last night?
As soon as we heard about the fire, naturally, we rode out to see if we could do anything to help. You and the boys had already left, so we kept Victoria company till, I'd say about 10 or 11 o'clock. Oh, Jared, it's the Tong. Look, have their leader arrested. Charge him with murder if Victoria isn't returned within 24 hours.
It doesn't make any sense. They wouldn't have any reason to kidnap her. They already knew they could have our rice.
You mean they knew they couldn't have it?
What do you mean by that?
Jared, when we arrived last night, your mother invited us upstairs. In the distance, we could see the fire burning. She said to Warren, I'd as soon those two ships with all the rice in them sunk at sea as sell it to them.
She said that?
She was angry. As angry as I've ever seen her, and with justification. Anyway, she asked Warren to draw up an informal contract, which she signed, selling us your 2 shiploads of rice.
The Tong wouldn't have any way of knowing about that.
Your mother must have said something.
Where is that contract? I'd like to see it.
Well, right now, it's with Warren in San Francisco.
San Francisco?
Naturally, Warren had to begin making arrangements to dispose of the rice. Those ships arrive in a day or two, don't they?
Yes, yes.
Jared, I beg you. The Tong decided to get back at you.
Well, maybe I'll talk to the sheriff when he gets back.
You know, if there's anything I can do, anything. You know I speak Chinese.
Yes, I know.
And Key, perhaps he could be of some help. You know, he's had some experience with the Tong.
Yes, but at the moment, there's nothing.
Jared, she may still be alive. Don't wait too long, I beg you. Let's go, Key.
Warren. What happened?
There, now, it's all right. It's all right.
How did I get here?
Don't you remember anything?
Well, I remember hearing a sound at the door, and then someone came in, and a handkerchief. They put a handkerchief...
Soaked in chloroform. We smelled it when we found you. But you're safe here. Tong can't touch you here.
Tong?
Yes, we saw them as we rode up. It's a good thing we came when we did, too. I've no doubt they'd have... You were unconscious on the bedroom floor. We brought you here. Now, you've got to make your stand, Victoria. You can't do business with terrorism. If they can blackmail you into giving them or selling them your rice, none of us is safe. I've written up this informal agreement between us, pledging your rice to me. It's very informal. It just gives me the right to purchase.
Oh, Warren, I can't sign that.
You must. Not for my sake, but to prove that we live in a country where terror does not rule.
Well, I can't sign that without first talking to Jared. You see, we've pledged our rice to Mike Chang.
Yes, to the Sanctified Chinese League. Import opium, sell their women into prostitution.
That's not true.
Who pretend to oppose the Tong while secretly financing it?
Well, you proved that to my satisfaction and Jared's.
Oh, Mike Chang has manipulated and sweet-talked Jared to the point where Jared couldn't possibly judge the truth.
Then I'll judge the truth, but from facts, not from innuendo and slander.
Now, I respect your motives, Victoria. You're concerned about the plight of the poor Chinese peasant. Well, that's very laudable. That's Christian. You consider the poor Chinese peasant objective, you know. While they work as coolies and take jobs away from white laborers. That cup of rice you give them comes out of the mouth of people like us, our kind.
Oh, you can't possibly believe that.
Well, they tried to murder you. Janet and I saved your life. You start with that and figure whether you owe your rice to them or to me. Now, you sign this, and then I'll take you home.
No, you take me home first, and then...
I can't do that, Victoria.
What do you mean you can't do it?
Please, Victoria, I beg, if you sign this, please...
Go!
Janet.
She'll be all right. Take her downstairs.
No, Janet, no.
Put her in the storeroom.
Jared!
Any luck?
Well, we got 4 posses looking. We're going to keep looking.
Where's he?
He took some men up to Gold Town to check out those abandoned mines. I don't suppose anyone's gotten in touch with you yet.
No, nobody.
Oh, she's been kidnapped. We sure got a ransom note by this time. I still say it points to the Tong.
Maybe, Nick. Maybe. But I had a little visit from Janet Masters this afternoon.
Oh, yeah? What about?
Well, she said that Mother finally decided to sell Warren the rice.
What?
Yeah, claimed she was so angry over the Tong setting the fire that she was going to pay him back. Pay him back by punishing a lot of innocent Chinese.
Now, that doesn't make sense.
Of course it doesn't. That's what started me thinking. Nick, if you were Warren Masters, you saw a whole life's dream, a fortune, going down the drain. You were desperate because somebody wouldn't give you something you needed. What would you do?
3 days now, Janet.
I'm aware of that, Warren.
Without food, without water, we'll kill her.
Not before she signs that contract.
I don't want to be a murderer, Janet. Don't make me part of a murder.
When we took her, you knew it wouldn't be easy.
I didn't think it would come to this. Thought we could persuade her.
Well, it's come to this.
It's not too late. We can let her go.
You're soft, Warren. Inside. You never had to fight for anything, not even to stay alive.
The night they came to dinner and she had a headache, you put her to sleep, you hypnotized her.
When she woke up, the headache was gone. That would be easy. You'd like that, wouldn't you, Warren? Unfortunately, even hypnotized people won't do things against their will. And Victoria doesn't want to sign that contract.
Try, please.
It won't work. But everyone has a breaking point. We'll find Victoria's.
Victoria? Sorry Janet did that. Why are you so unreasonable?
Warren, I can't believe this is happening. I simply can't believe it. We've been friends for so long.
Victoria, sign this paper.
If you need money, we'll lend it to you.
Sign it before it's too late. Before Janet takes over. Remember when you were at our house? She put you to sleep. She took away your headache. Well, Janet can do things like that. She has the power to heal or to hurt. And she can hurt you. She can torture you in ways that you and I couldn't even imagine.
Then you take me out of here now.
I can't do that. Please sign this paper. Sign it now, or we'll both be sorry.
Well?
She's not going to sign, Janet.
I thought you might like a drink of water. Victoria, you're all but perishing for a drink of water and some food. So let's be reasonable. I hate being cruel. Why don't you give in, Victoria? This is insane.
It is, isn't it? Janet, I think I understand the pressure you and Warren are under. I can understand. And I can forget. We all can forget this ever happened. If you'll just untie me and let me go home.
Nothing would make me happier. And it will be done as soon as you sign that paper.
No, I can't sign.
You are a stubborn woman. Very well, then. I'll leave this glass of water right there. And we'll give you just a little more time to think this over. All right, Key. That should hurry your thinking a little. All right, Warren, let's go. Wake up, Victoria. You're not going to sleep, Victoria. Not while you're here. Does the light bother you? I saw it used often by the terrorists in China. Simple but effective. Particularly when a person is hungry and thirsty. The mind begins to lose its hold. Would you like to do something for me, Victoria? We could notify your family, have them take you home. Would you like that, Victoria? I brought this whip down with me. I hoped I wouldn't have to use it. I hoped that by now you'd see how useless it is to prolong this, how unnecessary. Can't hold out forever, you know. A day or two more and you'll start to lose all reason. You'll beg me to let you sign it. So why not give in now? Say something. Do you want to suffer? Say something. Is that what you want? And all you have to do is to sign that paper. You will do that, won't you, Victoria?
Yes, I'll sign. I'll sign. Please. Oh, please, untie me, please.
Victoria, I'm so glad. So very glad.
Oh.
There. I'd broken her. She fooled me. But she won't fool me again. Take her downstairs.
What do you want? What do you want?
We'd like to see Mrs. Masters.
Out here.
What do you mean she's not here? It's after midnight.
Do not know.
What are you so nervous about?
It's late. You woke me up. Come back tomorrow, please. I know nothing. Nothing.
You know nothing about what?
Nothing about this matter. Nothing about this rice and your mother's disappearance. I know nothing.
Key, we're old friends with your mistress, good friends. She told us that you'd help us in any way you can.
We just want you to answer a few questions. That shouldn't be too much to ask now, should it, Key?
I want you to understand something else. Our mother's life may be at stake.
I said I know nothing about your mother. You go see the Tong.
We've already been there. Now, if you don't care about our mother's life, you think about your people, Key. What'll happen to them if the Masters buy up all the rice?
A lot of them could starve.
But the Masters are good people.
Key, if you know anything, you just best tell us.
I cannot.
Cannot.
I know nothing. I say I know nothing. I don't care what you do.
Key! Nick. Won't do any good.
I said nothing.
We heard.
You said nothing and told them everything.
Go on to your room, Key.
Please forgive.
Go on.
Janet, I know those boys, and they'll be back.
Let them.
Let them.
When they come back, if they come back, it will all be settled.
You're sure of that?
I'm sure of that.
Wish you could convince her. Why doesn't she give up?
She will.
Days.
Sit down.
I can't sit down.
Just a little more time, Warren. Try to be a man for just a little longer.
Janet, if she signs,
You mean when she signs?
can we just let her go?
Yes. We'll just make her promise not to tell her sons what happened, not to tell the law. You know perfectly well we can't let her go. Victoria knows it, too. That's why she's fighting so hard.
I dreamed it would come to this.
You knew all along it would come to this. There was no other way. You just didn't have the courage to face it. Don't worry. I'll take care of everything.
How?
I said I'd take care.
Tell me how.
Very well. You can rest easy. Victoria's tragic death will be relatively painless. She'll be found near the house of the Tong, found dead. The smell of an ancient oriental poison on her lips.
Key was lying, you know that.
I know it.
What the devil are we doing here in this office, then?
Waiting, Nick. Just waiting. Have a drink.
Waiting for what? I'll tell you something. We never should have left that house. We should have...
What? Tried to beat the truth out of Key? That wouldn't have worked, and you know it.
It would have been worth a try.
We haven't given up. All I'm waiting for is a chance to get back into that house without being seen.
You think they're holding Mother there?
I'd just like to have a little look around.
All right. But if it doesn't work, I'm going after Key. God pity him if he doesn't come up with the right answers.
Please turn off the light. Please, please.
Soon, Victoria, soon. Just as soon as you sign that paper, Warren will come downstairs and he'll take you home. Home to sleep in your own bed. All this will be a bad dream, nothing more.
I beg you, turn off the light, please.
I will. But first things first.
Help me, please. I'll do anything. I'll sign anything. Just help me, please.
There's the pencil and the paper waiting. And this time there'll be no tricks. Come on.
all right?
Yes,
What happened?
Nick, get a doctor quickly.
All right.
It's all right, Janet.
She's dead, Warren.
She's not dead. She'll be all right.
Janet. Janet, darling. Janet. Janet.
Well, well. I'd say she looks just about as good as new, wouldn't you, Nick?
Bet she's got some kind of secret.
No secret. Just the love of my family. Jared, have you seen Warren?
Yes. He'll stand trial next week. I know how you feel. You think he's suffered enough. But you've got to understand, he not only committed a crime against you, he committed a crime against the state.
Isn't there anything you can do?
Well, I can ask the prosecuting attorney for leniency and hope that he listens. But that's all.
Oh, I'll get it. Oh, Mike, come on in. Look who's here.
Well, why isn't everyone dressed and ready to go?
Where? Dressed for what?
We're celebrating Chinese New Year. You're guests of honor. Where's Heath?
Well, he's out on the range, isn't he?
Get him and then get going, all of you. That's an order.
Oh, wait a minute. Mike, didn't we celebrate Chinese New Year's last month?
That was last month. Today, we're celebrating the very grateful purchase of 2 boatloads of rice. That's a New Year's gift for many of my people.
Well, how shall we dress?
Strictly for pleasure. And pleasure, I promise you.
Oh, really?
Succulent Chinese sweetmeats, dancing in the streets, spinning pinwheels of light to color the sky a rainbow, fire...
There she is. Where'd you get nerve enough to come back to this town? You don't belong here. Get out. Get out now.
You traitor! Doctor, don't work for you. Go back where you came from, you Delilah, you.
Get out of this town. Go back where you belong. We don't want you here. Do you hear?
Traitor.
Get out. Do you hear?
We
Get out.
don't need you in this
We
town.
don't
You
want
better
you
get
here.
back up on that train
Get out
where
of
you
our
come
town.
from. Because you're not going to
We
fight
don't want
this
you.
bit. So just get back where you were, traitor.
You don't belong.
Murderer.
We don't need you. We don't want you.
Excuse me.
I'm Ross Parker. This is my brother Worth. If you know what's good for you, get back on that train right now.
Let go of me.
Let her go, Ross. I said let her go. You boys go on about your business. It goes for the rest of you.
Thank you.
Get it.
All right, break it up. Come on now.
So you're going to bring a traitor part, huh?
We won't let her stay here.
The gaiety, please.
Not in my hack.
Now you know what you said.
Get out of here, Saxon. Confederate scum.
Get out of town, you rebel traitor.
Get out.
Go back to the hall.
Part of you or you're singing.
Get out of here. We don't need you here. You understand? The train's doing this in order to start. We're going to bring over here.
Get out.
We don't need you. Get back where you came
Get out of town. Who needs you?
Julia Saxon. How she can show her face outside the South is beyond me.
Where would you like to have lunch, young lady?
Why do you suppose she did it?
Did what?
Why do you suppose she came to Stockton, of all places? Does she think we've forgotten what she did?
Are you interested in lunch or not?
Jared, how can someone do that? Turn on their own people?
There have been spies as long as there have been wars, Audra.
But she was born and raised in the North. She wasn't a spy. She was a traitor.
Shall we make it the Stockton house?
The Stockton house?
For lunch.
Fine. I'll just freshen up.
If they ran this Julia Saxon out of town on a rail.
Nick.
Well, I wouldn't.
Neither would I.
Oh, you two are in somewhat of a lynching mood tonight, aren't you?
Mother, what if it had been Nick or Heath or Jared that Julia Saxon?
But it wasn't. It was Matt Parker, so how can I answer that? Now, I can understand how Ross and Worth feel about what happened to their brother. But on the other hand, Julia Saxon has every right to appear in Stockton.
Sure she has. If she's interested in starting a riot.
Well, I wasn't here. I didn't know Matt Parker, but the war's over. Why don't people stop fighting it?
That's easy enough to say, Heath. But there are some things people can't forget.
And shouldn't.
May I suggest we drop the subject?
If you'll all excuse me, I've got to get back to town.
Tonight?
Tonight. Night, Mother.
Good night.
He was mighty quiet.
Well, he was closer to the Parker family than any of us. He and Matt were in the Army together.
Jared defended him at his court-martial.
And he's got just as much reason to dislike Julia Saxon as anybody else.
Come in.
Evening, lass.
Good evening, Mr. McGregor. How do I look?
Fine, fine.
How's the house?
Sold out?
Oh, that's wonderful.
I hope so.
You're worried.
I have been thinking, lass. With so many people feeling the way they do, not that I'm saying they're right, mind, but since they do, maybe you should,
Cancel my appearance.
Aye.
Just tonight, or completely?
Completely.
No.
I'm only thinking of you, lass.
Meaning you'll pay me for the week, even though I don't appear.
Well, now, I could hardly afford that, could I?
Well, I don't know, Mr. McGregor. But it doesn't really matter. Because we have a contract, and I intend to hold you to it.
You're on.
Glass, you can't go on. Those folk out there are just here to make trouble. I'm gonna cancel.
You do. And I'll sue you for every dime you have in this world.
Where sunshine warmed each day. Once I walked the happy road, but I have lost my way. Poor little sheep fall fast asleep, dream that no more need you roam. Dream some kind one will hear you weep, show you how to go home. So kind one find my happy road, the answers oh so clear. My hand in yours to tell your heart my happy road is here. Poor little sheep fall fast asleep, dream that no more need you roam.
Why don't you roam out of here?
Some kind one will hear you weep.
You don't know what weeping is, woman.
Give me a tomato.
Why don't you go back where you came from? Don't you people know she killed Stockton boys?
You must have been pretty hungry to come back here. Here's some food for you.
Lower the curtain, man.
No, she's got it coming. Here's one with love from Matt Parker.
Why'd you come back here, Julia? You must have known what to expect. Here in Stockton or anywhere else you'd go. Your name is probably one of the most hated there is in the North. You should have stayed where you belong.
And where do I belong?
In the South. Seems to me you'd be safe there. Respected. Admired, maybe even loved. Why don't you go back?
No. I have every right to be here. I'm not a criminal. All I did was fight for what I believe in.
Fight?
Call it anything you want to. I'm not ashamed of what I did. taken the South back into the Union. Why can't they take me?
Well, you can't go back to that hotel tonight. I'll take you back to the ranch with me. Put you on a train in the morning.
Jared. Don't shut me out. Listen to me. Talk to me.
I'll bring the buggy around and back.
Jared, I'll go to the ranch with you tonight. But I'm not getting on a train in the morning. Why are we stopping here?
I want to show you something.
I didn't know.
He was shot. Cleaning his revolver. Some people say it was an accident. Some people say it wasn't an accident at all.
And what do you think?
I know he didn't care to go on living. He tried to drink himself to death. Could be he just found a faster way.
Are you blaming me?
Who should I blame?
Did you kill anyone in the war, Jared?
Yes.
Does that make you a killer? Are you to blame, or was it the war?
That was different, wasn't it, Julia? The men I killed knew who I was and what I was. You weren't the enemy to Matt. You were the girl he was in love with. And he wasn't the only one, was he, Julia?
Two, 4, 6, and a pair. That's 8. And it looks like I win. What? Let's see here. You owe me $495,000.
One more game, double or nothing.
All right, you deal. Well. Last I heard from you, Jared, you were going to work all night.
This is my brother, Nick.
Howdy.
This is Heath.
How do you do?
This is Julia Saxon.
What? What the devil's she doing here?
I'm Jared's mother, Miss Saxon. How do you do?
There was a little trouble in town tonight. I thought it'd be better if she spent the night here.
What kind of trouble?
I don't think we have to discuss that now, Nick. Miss Saxon, thank you.
All right, now hang on. How'd you get tangled up with her?
I don't care to talk about it tonight.
Well,
Nick.
I do.
Easy, Nick, easy.
Easy nothing. Woman's nothing but trouble. Matt Parker was a friend of yours, you know.
I haven't forgotten.
Then why did you bring her here?
Because she couldn't go to the hotel and there was no place else for her to go. Now, it's as simple as that, Nick. Let it alone. She'll be gone in the morning.
I'll take care of the rig for you, Jared.
Thanks, Heath.
Jared! Jared! Didn't meet her just tonight, did you? You knew her before.
That's right.
When?
I met her in Washington during the war.
Well, now, why didn't you tell us?
I guess because I figured it wasn't any of your business, Nick.
Good night. Good night, Jared.
Come in.
Don't be upset with Nick.
I'm not.
Was it bad in town?
She was a fool to come here.
She must have wanted to see you very badly. You know that's the reason she's here, don't you? Why not San Francisco or any number of towns? Except for you. She's very beautiful. And I can understand how easy it would be for a man to fall in love with her. And how difficult it would be for him to forget her.
I'd forgotten her.
Oh, no. No, Jared. You can't forget someone you're running away from. And that's what you've been doing. I'm glad she's here. Now you can face it. Face whatever it is about her you've been carrying with you all these years. Now you can decide if what you feel toward her is love or hate. Perhaps it's neither one. Good night, Jared.
We're not going to Stockton.
No? I'm taking you to Grove Junction. Catch a train there for Sacramento.
I won't. I'm
Julia.
not going. I won't. Now take me to Stockton.
Can't you see that you're just asking for more trouble?
I'm not running away. I'm not going to spend the rest of my life hiding in the South. Help me, Jared. If you hate me so much, why did you come in the Gaiety last night?
I don't hate you anymore, Julia. I did for a while after I found out what it was you wanted from me.
I never wanted anything from you. It's true. At first, yes. All I wanted was what information I could get from you. After that night you told me you loved me. Remember? I knew I loved you, too. I knew I couldn't use you.
That's when you decided to go after Matt.
It was my job. He meant nothing to me. I loved you, Jared. I still love you. I would have come here years ago, but I was afraid. Afraid you'd do what you've done.
What you expect? I just forgive and forget?
Oh, no. Not forgive. Perhaps not even forget. But to try and understand.
I understand. But I can't forget he never would have met you if it hadn't been for me.
Jared.
You still want to go to Stockton?
Yes.
All right. Get him. Hello, Fred. Come on in. What brings you out our way?
Trouble, Jared.
Oh?
Tom McGregor's been murdered.
What?
Stabbed with a letter opener from the desk in his office. I've arrested Julia Saxon. McGregor's stage manager, Chet Staley, said he heard Tom and the Saxon woman arguing.
Arguing about what?
Well, it seems Tom decided he'd had about enough after last night. Told her he was going to cancel her appearance. She demanded to be paid anyway. He refused. Staley said he heard a scuffle. He started for the office, saw the Saxon woman run out. He went into the office. McGregor was dead.
Where'd you arrest Julia?
Up in her hotel room. She was packing.
Did she say anything?
Only that she wouldn't answer any questions until she talked to you. Now listen, Jared. I want you to forget for a minute that I'm a lawman. I want to give you some advice. As one good friend to another. By now, everybody in town knows what's happened, and they're real heated up about it. As far as they're concerned, Julia Saxon is guilty as sin. Now, if I was you, I would get as far away from that woman as I could get. Any lawyer who tries to defend her is going to be dead in this town. Maybe in more ways than one.
Staley is lying.
You didn't argue with McGregor?
I didn't even speak to him. I didn't have the chance. He was already dead when I went into his office.
Then why'd you run away?
I heard someone coming. I thought it might be the killer, and I just panicked. When I got to the hotel, I started thinking how people in town feel about me. I knew they'd say I killed him, for one reason or another. So I decided to try and get away before McGregor's body was found. You don't believe me?
Give me one reason why I should.
Lying was my business once, wasn't it?
You were expert at it. Fred?
Are you saying you're not going to help me?
I'll have to think it over. Now, you say you saw Miss Saxon enter the club and go into McGregor's office just as you were coming from backstage, is that right?
Yeah.
How long would you say it was, Staley, between the time she came in and the time she left?
Maybe 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Not more than that.
Well, let's think about that a minute. I dropped her off in front at 5 minutes after 10, so 10 minutes later would make it 10:15 when you saw her leave. What'd you do then?
Well, I looked in there. I saw Tom dead, and I went for the sheriff.
Now, that's very interesting, Staley. The sheriff told me it was past 10:45 when you got to his office. That's 30 minutes between the time you saw her leave and the time you went to the sheriff's office. What'd you do all that time?
I was trying to help Tom.
Help Tom? Help him how? He was dead.
I wasn't sure of that.
Then why didn't you go for Doc Morar? His office is right down the street.
Look, I don't have to answer your questions.
Oh, yes, you do, Staley. Either now or at Julia Saxon's trial. Now, make up your mind.
You get out of here.
What are you trying to hide?
Get out!
All right, Staley. I'll see you at the trial. Thank you, Fred.
Well, have you made up your mind?
Yes, I have.
You're going to defend me.
That's right.
And to what do I owe this honor? The fact that you think I'm innocent.
That's the only reason, Julia.
And how did you decide that?
Well, for one thing, I had a little talk with Staley. I'm convinced that he's lying about something.
Are you sure about that?
What do you mean?
I'm the expert at lying. Remember?
Julia, if you have something to say, why don't you just say it?
All right. Staley wasn't lying. I killed McGregor. So what are you going to do now? Or do you want time to think about it again?
Why didn't you tell me this before?
Oh, I was going to try and bluff it through. But I realized you'd get the truth sooner or later. You see, I don't have as much faith in my ability as a liar as you have.
Suppose you just tell me what happened.
Staley told you, didn't he?
He wasn't there.
He heard the argument. He saw me run away.
And that's all.
Isn't that enough?
Not for me.
Are you still my lawyer?
If I get your story.
Answer me. Are you?
Now you are lying, aren't you?
No.
Yeah. Oh, yes, you are. You didn't kill McGregor.
I did.
Why don't you stop it? This is no time for games or some stupid little test to see if I defend you, even if you are guilty.
Would you?
No.
I'm sorry. Silly of me, I suppose. But I wanted you to help me because of who I was, not what I was.
Julia, you'd better settle for what you can get. This town was ready to hang you before you ever got here. All they needed was an excuse. Believe me, now they've got it.
Sheriff?
You wait here.
Hello, Ross. Worth?
I want to talk to you, Jared.
Friends of yours out there?
Some of them are your friends, too. Or they want to be.
Why are you doing it, Jared? Defending that woman.
I'm a lawyer, Ross.
That's no reason.
Isn't it?
Lawyers turn down cases. Nobody's making you defend her.
That's true.
Well, then why?
If I thought it was any of your business, Worth, I'd have consulted you before I took the case. As it is, you're right. No one is making me defend Julia Saxon. No one is going to make me not defend her either.
And that's the way it's going to be?
It can be any way you want it to be, Worth.
Now listen, Jared.
Oh, you listen, both of you. Now, if you're going to remind me that Matt was a friend of mine, don't bother. That has nothing to do with Julia Saxon now.
How can you say that?
Because she's charged with the murder of Tom McGregor. And not anything she did to Matt.
Nobody else around here looks at it like that.
Then that's another reason I'm going to defend her.
Jared, if you go through with this, you're done in this town.
Don't threaten me, Worth.
We're just delivering a message from your friends in Stockton, and you'd better listen. Now, you Barclays are big, but the people here can cut you down to size if they have a mind to.
Anything else?
That's it.
If you boys will excuse me, it's late. I've got a lot of work to do.
Come on, let's have a drink.
this was just a broken window, you know. And why? What for? All right, maybe she didn't kill McGregor. Still no reason for you to go around sticking your neck out.
Nick, somebody has to.
Are you the only lawyer in the world, Jared? Why don't you bring in someone from the outside, like San Francisco or Sacramento? A man that doesn't have to make his living here in town after that trial's over.
Audrey.
I'd like to speak to Miss Saxon, if I may, Sheriff.
Well, now, your brother said I wasn't to let anyone see her without his say-so.
I don't think he meant that to include me.
Well, perhaps he didn't. All right. You have a visitor. Just call when you're through.
Thank you.
What do you want?
I'd like you to do something for me.
Well?
I'd like you to ask Jared to withdraw from the case. Do you realize what will happen if he defends you? Win or lose, he'll have made an enemy of everyone in town. His law career will be ruined in Stockton.
Does Jared know you're here?
No.
I didn't think so. I'm sorry, Miss Barkley. I can't do what you ask.
You destroyed Matt Parker. And now you're going to destroy Jared. Don't tell me you're worried about insulting him after the things you've done. I'm sorry. I didn't come here to say things like that.
Miss Barkley. I don't want to hurt Jared. As hard as it may be for you to believe, I've never wanted to hurt anyone. Not Jared or Matt or any man who may have suffered because of me.
Then why?
You have to understand what it was like. Particularly in the early days of the war. People went back and forth across the lines. It was hard to believe there was a war. Especially if you were the kind of person I was.
What kind of a person were you?
Very young, very poor, and very, very ambitious. I didn't know what the war was all about, not really. I didn't know and I didn't care. It just seemed stupid to me. And then one day in Richmond, a young Confederate lieutenant I knew invited me to a cotillion. It was in the most beautiful home I'd ever seen. And I met people. Rich, famous, important people. There were men there who could make me a star. What they asked in return seemed so unimportant. How could the bits and pieces of information I might get help them or hurt anyone else? By the time I knew better, it was too late. The war was almost over. There was no turning back. No undoing what I'd done. So I did the next best thing. I tried to lie to myself. Pretend that I worked for what I believed in. Now I can't even do that anymore.
You told Jared this?
I never told anyone. What would have been the point? Explain something. It doesn't excuse anything. And it doesn't change a thing.
Sheriff?
Miss Barkley. If you think Jared will withdraw if I ask him to, I will.
You're right. He wouldn't. And I won't ask him to.
Thank you.
Evening, Jared.
Hello, Fred.
Working late tonight.
Yeah,
Glad when this trial's over.
I think we all will. Night, Fred.
Good night.
How'd I get here?
The sheriff found you this morning.
Town, livery stable.
Who did it, Jared?
I don't know. They wore masks.
Real brave boys.
I gotta get out of here.
Not for a while yet, I'm afraid.
I got a murder trial.
You can get a postponement, Jared.
No. It starts Monday.
This is laudanum. You'll sleep now for a while longer.
Come on.
Mind telling me where we're going?
If Jarrett thinks Julia Saxon is innocent, that's good enough for me. We've got a couple of days to stop her from being railroaded.
What if the trial's postponed?
Oh, it won't be. Now with old Judge Crawford on the bench.
Why?
Because he lost a couple of sons during the war. Jarrett thinks that Staley is lying about something. I think it best we find out what.
Let's go.
Staley! Staley! I'll wait for him to show up right here. Why don't you check the stable?
All right.
Hiya, Heath. We heard what happened to Jared.
When? Before or after it happened?
Or you don't think we had anything to do with it?
Listen, we've been friends with the Barclays since long before anybody even heard about you.
So?
So, I'll bet Nick and Jared know better.
Well, I don't know about Jared, but Nick's right inside. Why don't you ask him?
Ross.
What are you doing here?
Good afternoon, Mr. Staley. You, had a talk with my brother the other day.
What about it?
Well, he got the distinct feeling that, well, you weren't telling the whole truth. Well, I just thought I'd best stop by to see if I got the same feeling.
You get out of here.
And you know something? I do.
Get out!
Even without talking to you, I do. You see, my brother Jared's a lawyer. Well, he has to more or less mind his manners. I mean, he could never force you to talk. But I don't have to worry about that. You killed McGregor.
No!
You're lying.
No! Don't talk, please. Spit it out. Talk. Worth Parker killed him.
Why?
They got into an argument over Julia Saxon appearing here. Worth told Tom to get rid of her the next time she tried to sing. He'd burn the place down. Tom got mad. He told Worth to get out. Worth started shoving him around, and they got into a fight, and Worth stabbed him.
You saw him?
Ross said him and his brother would help me buy the place if I forgot about it. Just then we heard Julia Saxon coming in, and Worth got the idea of putting the blame on her.
Come on, we're gonna go see the sheriff.
Nick!
You know what Worth did?
I know.
You're not gonna use that gun in here. Folks would hear it.
You killed him. For a miserable traitor like Julius Saxon, you killed him!
You all right, Nick?
Yeah, I'm all right.
I'll get the sheriff.
Julia. I went by the hotel, but you'd already left.
Did you get my note?
Yes, I got your note.
I guess there isn't anything more to say, is there?
Where are you going, Julia?
Back to the south, where you said I belong. Why did you come, Jared?
I couldn't let you leave without telling you how much I wish things could have been different.
I wish things could have been different, too.
Ward?
Goodbye, Jared.
Goodbye, Julia.
Why not all the way to Plankton to pick up that stallion we don't need?
What are you talking about? We need that stallion for breeding.
We don't need it. All we need is me out of town until Rance Kendall has a chance to cool down.
Heath, is it such a bad idea? Consider the alternative.
I just don't like carrying on this game of making believe nothing's happened.
All right, something did happen. It was tragic, but it wasn't your fault. He was drunk and he didn't know what he was doing.
Drunk or sober, he drew on you first. Now, what else could you do?
That's true, Heath, and Kendall will see that if you just give him a little time.
Couple of weeks' thought, and he'll realize another gunfight isn't going to bring his kid back.
Especially one he hasn't got a chance of winning, and you know it.
If I didn't, maybe I wouldn't be going. See you.
Don't worry, I'll see that he gets out of town.
Well, I gotta get that corral ready for the stallion.
Are we pretending to each other? Do you really think Kendall will change his mind?
I don't know, Audra. He can be an evil man and a stupid one. I just don't know.
Any luck? No. It's roundup time, Mr. Kendall. New hands are hard to come by. But we'll find somebody
To take his place? I don't think so.
Morning, Rance.
He was a boy. Just a boy.
With a gun.
Mr. Kendall, I know how you must feel about losing your son. I can't tell you how sorry I am.
Don't try. You don't need it, and I don't want it. All I want is you dead now, like my boy is. And you will be. You can take my word on that.
I won't fight you.
Bedroll and saddlebags. Running off won't save you.
I'll be back.
Don't worry. You can go as far as you like, and you can come back when you like, because you're as good as dead now. I promised him that. And that's one promise I'm gonna keep.
Rance, this kind of talk isn't gonna do anybody.
Keep out of it. I'm talking to him.
Like I said, Mr. Kendall, I'm sorry. I can't say any more than that.
Mr. Kendall, I worked for you a long time. And I ain't one to give advice.
Forget it, Bates.
I can't. I've got to say it. You call Heath Barkley out, you're a dead man.
Your son was fast, real fast, but not like him. You wouldn't stand a chance.
I got no notion to call him out. I just want him dead.
How?
In a fight. Fair fight, just as fair as my son had, but not with me. Vern Hickson. Ever heard of him?
Hickson?
You want to tell me again how fast Heath Barkley is?
Not that fast. Not against Hickson. You sent for him?
I've sent for him.
Something I can do for you? Better go home. No profit in it.
Wait.
Sheriff?
You boys must have something else to do and hang around town.
You shouldn't have let him go like that.
Nothing else I can do.
He killed our pa.
Your pa drew first.
Pa had no choice. He made him. Now, he was hired to kill him. You know that the same as we did.
Listen to me, boys. Your pa had some enemies, people who wanted his land. That doesn't mean they went out and hired Vern Hickson to kill him.
Hickson's a hired gun. Why else would he do it?
I don't know. All I know is you got no proof. Without proof, there's nothing I can do. I'm sorry. Nothing.
Well, maybe there's something we can do. Smell that water, do you, boy? Huh? Hey, let's go get some. Come on. Get up there.
Sorry, friend. Thought you were someone else.
Whoever you're expecting. Can't be too friendly.
Can't say I was expecting anyone, but a man can't be too careful.
You were that.
I enjoy living. These are rough parts. I heard there was some desperados around in the area.
Which way you heading?
North.
Well, so am I.
So maybe I'll see you again. Better watch out for those desperados.
I will.
help. Let's go.
Meet again, friend.
Who were they?
Never saw them before in my life. Must have been those desperados I was telling you about.
They don't look more like kids, like farmers.
Never judge a man by his appearance. It can be dangerous. Like you, for instance. Much obliged, but who are you?
Name's Heath Barkley.
Barkley. Barkley.
Yours?
Hickson. Vern Hickson. You heard of me, huh?
I've heard of you. You said you were heading north. Whereabouts?
Well, that's my business, isn't it, friend?
This wound needs tending.
Then tend it. Don't leave. You heard right, friend. That's the way it is with me. I don't ask favors and I don't give any. You ask my name and you don't like it. That's your privilege. Stay or leave. That's your privilege, too.
Leave now, you'll bleed to death. Slug's got to come out.
So?
You bite on this, you're gonna need it.
Hey, I like your style, friend.
Open. It's a broth I made out of dried jerky.
I feel like I'm on fire.
It's fever.
How long have I been out?
About 6 hours.
I don't think I'm gonna make it.
You'll make it. Drink some more.
Baby, it don't matter who. $1,000 please. Baby. Baby, it don't matter who. Baby. 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 It don't matter who. Baby. Baby. Please. Baby. $1,000. Baby. 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 Keep forgetting about that arm.
Here.
You know, you could have gotten yourself killed sticking your neck out for me. Keep wondering why.
I have to explain it. It wouldn't make any difference.
You don't like me much, do you?
Not much.
Why not?
You're a hired killer.
That's right. But a lot of people are killers one way or another. My way's more direct, that's all. Dog eat dog. I found that out, so I eat. A lot better than this as a rule. No reflection on your cooking.
Men you'd never seen before. Men you got nothing against.
My best friend. If I had a best friend. And the price was right. You ever kill a man?
I've had to.
You know, I've killed... I don't know how many. And I never felt a thing. Not one thing. But you felt something, didn't you?
Leaving at sunup.
Jared, it was so warm I couldn't sleep.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't either.
So many reasons why he could be late.
Oh, sure there are.
You know, Jared, I was thinking about Kendall's son a few moments ago. And if it hadn't been Heath, it probably would have been somebody else. He was that kind. He just had to have it all.
Rance ruined that boy, Mother. He gave him everything. Everything except what he really needed, I guess.
Well, it's easy to say yes. And it's difficult to say no, even when you know better. And Kendall didn't. You know, Jared, I think there's a breeze coming up. It might be a little cooler tomorrow.
I hope so. Nick and I are going out to look for him tomorrow. And don't you worry. We'll find him.
Thank you, Jared.
Good night, Mother.
Good night.
We'll take the trail to Willow Cut Point.
We'll probably camp the night at Stone Mason. Now, if Heath comes in by a different route, you send one of the other men out for us, will you?
All right.
We'll probably find him walking some lame horse somewhere.
Or trying to ride that wild stallion.
Will you get that horse saddled out?
Heath!
Where in places have you been?
With him.
What happened?
I'll tell you about it later. Gotta get him into the house. He's lost a lot of blood.
Can I make it all right, mister?
I made it this far. I'll make it.
Vern Hickson.
Yeah? Last I heard, he'd killed 16 men.
I want him out of here right now.
Oh, Nick.
Let somebody else take care of him.
Who?
I don't know, but get him out from under this
He
roof.
is not to be moved, not until he's well.
All right. Well, Doc said he'd be okay in a few days. Well, he better be right. I want him out of here as soon as he can stand.
We all do, Nick. Y'all excuse me, I think I'll take a hot bath.
I think we're very lucky.
Lucky?
Heath is home, and he's safe.
Your sister.
How are you feeling?
Yeah, I remember you. They brought me in. How long ago?
About 8 hours. Are you hungry?
I didn't know how much. Oh.
Here, let me help you. Comfortable?
Yeah. As much as can be expected. How about you?
What do you mean?
Oh, yeah. Your brother must have told you about me. Doesn't bother you?
It bothers me.
A man's got to go on living. A lot of people I meet, though.
You make it sound very matter of fact.
Yeah, that's what it is, a matter of fact. Want to know another one? You're about the prettiest woman I've ever seen. It doesn't seem to please you.
It doesn't.
That's all profit and loss in this world. It's kill or be killed.
People you don't even know.
Wouldn't matter much if I did know them. As long as I get paid. And I get paid pretty good.
What people say about you, they're right.
Yeah, people don't seem to like me very much. But I'll bet you could.
What I'd like is to have you out of this house as soon as possible.
With you around here, not much of a hurry. Hello.
What are you doing out of bed?
I'm feeling better. A lot better.
Let me help you.
Thank you. Something I want to say to you.
What's that?
Sorry about the things I said last night. Had no call to do that. Lately, I've been having trouble with the people I've met, especially women. I'm afraid I've forgotten how to act around a lady.
Please forget it.
All right, I'll forget it. Everything except one thing I said to you. You are the prettiest woman I've ever seen. Still doesn't please you. Sorry.
I'm sorry, too. For you.
Don't be. I don't want that. Not from you.
I'm sorry because after you leave here, you'll go on as you are.
As I am. What else is there?
It has to be explained.
No, don't bother. As your brother said, it wouldn't make any difference. Right? What I want, I take my way.
Let me help you.
No. Made it down alone. Make it up the same way. And if it's any comfort to you, I'll soon be out of your house. The eyes. When a man's gonna draw, you can always tell by his eyes. Yeah. Come on, try it.
Are your gears packed? You're ready to go? Why the games? What's it matter?
Well, it matters to me. Man I know is going to pay me a lot of money to do a simple job. With this arm, I want to make sure I haven't lost my touch.
Whoever he is, I hope you have. I'll get your gear.
Heath! I guess I haven't. Well, I'm all set. You know, I kind of hate to leave. I really do. Where's Audra?
In the house. We'll say goodbye for you.
You do that. Don't expect we'll meet again. Sure, I can't send you some money. Hate owing.
You owe us nothing.
Just as you like. But I'm beholden. Real beholden.
What we did for you, we would have done for anybody.
If you did it for me, I'm sure you would. Well, so long, Heath. I guess I ought to thank you again. I don't know if I'd have done the same thing for you. Oh, that man I've got to see. You tell me where I can find him. His name's Rance Kendall.
You'll find him.
I'm sure I will. Heath Barkley.
You know him?
Saved my life.
Saved your life. When?
Doesn't matter when or how. Person saves your life, man ought to be grateful.
You saying you're backing out of it?
You know, his family helped a lot, too.
Got $1,000 here. Count it.
I don't have to count it. Nobody ever cheated me.
I can say the same thing, Hickson.
Meaning?
Meaning Barkley killed my son. He's gonna die for it. I hired you to do the job. You agreed to do it. You back out now. I'd say I was being cheated.
Don't threaten me, Kendall. I don't take kindly to that.
I hired you for the job.
Just taking a little time to think it over.
Don't take too long. The job will be done.
Leave the money. If I spend it, Heath Barkley will be dead.
Where do you think you're going? At least had time to find Rance, decide what he's going to do.
I see. Just going to ride into town, make it easy for him, huh? You think saving that man's life's going to make any difference to him?
I know it won't.
And why?
He's a gunfighter. He won't draw unless I do. I don't intend to. I just want to tell him that.
Oh. All right, well, you take it easy here.
Thanks, Nick. Whiskey.
Make it two. It's on me, like I say, I'm beholden.
Did you see him?
Kendall? Yeah, I saw him. How long have you known? He found out my name. He brought me in. When?
Would it matter?
No. I don't ask favors. I don't give any. I told you that. You set the time and place.
I'm not drawing against you.
Yeah. Let's say, the street tomorrow at 10.
I won't be there.
Heath. Not your way. Mine. deserve this. Not like this. Tomorrow at 10. Sooner or later, that's how it is. You've got no choice.
Audrey said it would be all right.
I just don't see any reason for you to go into town.
Well, there's lots of reasons. You just told me how important it was that you have that fitting at the dressmaker's.
That was before I knew Nick was gone. I can go in myself.
Not while there's an able-bodied male Barkley here.
Heath, be serious. You know you shouldn't go into town with Vern Hickson there.
Audrey, I am serious. Now, what am I supposed to do? Dig a hole and hide in it?
No, but
Well, no buts. Now, up you go. Besides, I'm not wearing a gun, and even Vern Hickson wouldn't force a fight with a man that's unarmed. Get. Eagle. I've got some errands to do. I'll pick you up here.
all right.
It's open.
I want to talk to you.
It's my pleasure. You, want some coffee?
I want to talk about Heath.
Well, your brother really disappoints me. Sending his sister over to plead for him?
Heath didn't send me, and
What?
I am pleading.
No, you're not pleading. You're wasting your time.
The other day when you came downstairs, you were different.
No, I only thought that. I did too for a while. It's no good.
You're talking about my brother's life.
No. Talking about a job, just like all the others.
An animal.
I'm a businessman. It's a cold thing, business. I didn't make the rules. No, I didn't make the rules. Nobody did. Because there aren't any. Not even for you, the prettiest woman. Lady I've ever seen. I'm sorry.
Audra, what happened?
It's nothing. I just fell.
Fell where? How?
In the hotel. I just stumbled.
Audra, what happened? Now tell me the truth.
Barkley, you're looking at the truth. You know she came to my room to beg for you? But she's so pretty. I guess I got carried away.
Heath, no!
Got a no guy, I'll kill you. Tomorrow at 10? You want more of what you've been getting?
Heath, that's just what he wants.
That's right. And I always get what I want. You know, town I came from, there was a farmer a lot like you. He wouldn't fight either. But in the end, he did. Oh, you met his sons. After they were dead. Those desperados, remember?
Those boys' father, a simple farmer. You drew on him?
He drew on me. Like you will. Yeah. Just like you will.
Heath, why?
There's no other way. I've got to meet him.
Heath, please, I've told you. It wasn't me. He was just using me to get to
Nothing
you.
happened. Nothing worth dying for.
It's not just Audra. I tried to turn my back on it. I can't anymore. I'm meeting him tomorrow morning. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is.
Heath?
Oh, never mind, daughter. It wouldn't do any good.
It's my fault. If I hadn't gone there, it wouldn't have happened.
Oh, you were just trying to help. We all are. Funny thing is, we've been going about it in the wrong way. Audrey, hitch up the buggy.
Why?
Never mind. I have to go to town. Just hitch up the buggy.
Yeah.
May I come in?
Well, please do, Mrs. Barkley. What can I do for you?
I've come to ask you not to murder my son.
Murder? It'll be a fair fight. In fact, he'll draw first.
He saved your life. Doesn't that mean anything to you?
Uh-huh. It means he saved my life.
I don't understand. I just don't understand how a man like you can live with himself.
I've got a job, just like everybody. I'm in business, like a banker.
Bankers don't kill people.
Oh? Don't they? Well, he wasn't much of a man. Let people walk all over him. Took it. He always said he tried to do what he called the decent thing. Had a farm. It wasn't worth much. Just a dried up piece of land. It was his. He put his sweat into it. And his dreams. One year his crops failed and the man came around. He said, that farm's not yours anymore. The bank was foreclosing. So the next day, a kid of 12, on his birthday, climbed a rafter in the barn, cut a rope. He watched his father fall like a sack of grain at his mother's feet. That man who always tried to do the decent thing. That was my father. Bankers don't kill people. Everybody. Everybody kills. And for the same reason. Money. My way is more honest. That's all.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. He deserved what he got. Everybody does. And that's why it's important to get the other man first. I've lived by that. I reckon someday, a long time from now, I'll die by it.
You died a long time ago. And it's you I'm sorry for.
Save your sorrow. You'll be needing it, and I'm sorry for that. But, like the banker said to my father, business is business.
All right. All right, then let's talk business. How much is Rance Kendall paying you to kill Heath? How much is anybody paying you to kill Heath?
Why?
$5,000. $5,000 if you ride out of Stockton before 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
$5,000. It's a lot of money. That's truly a lot of money.
And you'll do it.
Add another 1,000, you got a deal.
The bank opens at 9 o'clock.
I think I'll be their first customer.
Why are you smiling?
It's funny. That banker, he only made a few hundred for killing my father. And I walk into that bank tomorrow morning and make $6,000 for not killing a man. I call that profit.
No. No, not profit. Money, perhaps, but not profit. Compassion, kindness, that's where you find profit. But the dead can't know that. Only the living. And I can't communicate with the dead. I can only feel for them and pity them.
For $6,000, Mrs. Barkley, you feel what you like.
You can't do this to me. I paid you.
But not enough. I've had a better offer. Besides, I haven't liked this job since I found out who it was.
Well, you took my money quick enough.
That's right. I took it. You paid me. And I'd have done the job if I had to. But a man saves your life.
Oh, don't try that on me. If they hadn't bought you off, you'd have killed him without giving it a second thought.
I might have tried to. But that split second before firing, I might have remembered.
Remembered what? Remember that he patched you up and brought you in?
Yeah. Something like that. Anyhow, there's no profit in it now.
There's more than one kind of profit.
So I've been told.
You could end up losing everything.
You threatening me?
I'm telling you.
Anytime.
But how did you do it? What did you say?
Oh, I just...
Morning, everybody.
Good morning, Jared.
Morning, Jared. Mother.
We're trying to find out how Mother did it.
Well, that's very simple. She's a magician. Where's Heath?
He's still asleep. Probably the best night's sleep he's gotten. Well, good morning, Heath.
Good morning, Mr. Heath.
Morning.
Got a mighty fine breakfast today.
I bet you got a mighty fine appetite to match it.
Mother, last night you said you talked Vern into changing his mind. I'd like to know how you did that.
What does it matter? He has.
How much did you have to pay him?
Well, I never said I...
You didn't have to. I know him. How much?
All right, Heath. All right. $6,000, and worth every cent to get him to ride out of town.
And after he rides out, who's next? Mother, if it's wrong for Vern to kill for money, it's just as wrong for me to stay alive because we got the money to buy him off. Now, he's got to be stopped. I don't know if I can, but I've got to try. I'm sorry, Mother. I've got to face him. I'll be back.
Wait a minute, Heath.
I'll saddle the horses.
No. I think I've got that right. And I'm asking you to respect it. But thanks. All of you. Get down, Vern.
What for? Well, didn't your mother tell you? She paid me off. You're worth more to me now as you are. Now, to tell you the truth, I'm kind of glad I didn't have to kill you.
But you'd have done it if she hadn't paid you off.
Yeah, I'd have done it. In a fair fight, of course.
How many fair fights have you had, Vern?
I don't count.
But there'll be more.
Yeah, I reckon.
Get down.
You're out of your mind. I've been paid. There's no profit.
I said get down.
No chance, Heath. I'm sure I could take you. 99% sure. But that 1% gamble without a cent to win. Those are odds I don't like to mess with. Like I say, there's no profit. Well, so long, friend. Consider yourself lucky. $6,000. More money than I ever had. I'll never spend it.
Sorry, Vern. I thought you were drawing on me.
Son, that rifle. He had me cold.
No, Vern. He had me cold.
Nick, what are you going to give up? Ah, you... I'm not about to give up.
Well, he's already thrown you a dozen times.
Well, he can throw me a dozen more times. I'm going to get to him.
All right, all right. Break your neck.
Nick, what happened to you?
That ornery. Well, that's what happened.
But you know you're not going to ride that stallion. Why do you try?
That's what I've been trying to tell him.
Well, I've got to ride him. What else is he good for?
Well, like I heard, we needed this particular very fine stallion to improve our breed.
Just couldn't get along without him.
That's what you said, Nick.
Yeah, it looks like now we got a stallion nobody can ride and not even fit for breeding.
Looks like a waste of money.
That's right. You all have a good laugh. But if it hadn't been for that stallion, I mean, just suppose, that Hickson didn't meet Heath here on the trail, that Hickson went into town, saw Rance, and then called Heath out.
He has a point, Audra.
You bet I have. That plug may not be good for anything but the glue pot, but we still made a profit. Heath, come on. Help me catch that ornery piece of horse flesh.